Now let's take a look at static pages and your navigation bar. With a blog, you don't tend to need many static pages. You maybe want a page about you, a page to contact you, some things like that. But for the most part, people will come to your site, read your latest blog posts, and then maybe use the archives that we set up on the side or the search box to find other posts they might want to look at. And really, in a lot of cases, once your site gets ranked well by Google, people will come directly to a post they've searched for or saw mentioned somewhere, and then may navigate around from there. But a lot of times when people read something interesting, they want to know more about you and maybe how to contact you. So let's build a couple simple pages there. So on the left, if we go to pages, we'll see all the static pages on the site. And WordPress comes generally with two of them, a privacy policy and a sample page. So first, let's just delete the sample page. We don't want to have anything published hanging out in here that we don't really want, because Google may see that and would index it, and people could find it via search. And it's not a problem. It just looks kind of sloppy if you have sample page hanging out on your site. So let's just delete that one. It also has this privacy policy, which is a good idea to publish. So let's take a look at it real quick. And this is up to you to decide what you want to do, but it kind of builds a generic privacy policy, which is wise to have on a site. It leaves a lot of areas blank, like contact forms isn't there, so let's delete that. If you add a contact form, maybe add some stuff about that. And then at the bottom, it has a lot of additional information, which we don't have. We'll skip all that. You should fill this out more than I am here, but at least having this is as good as nothing. Should be able to hit publish here. Mine says schedule because I was playing with some other things. If it ever says that, you can always just change the date and time to somewhere in the past. We'll go in here and make it 3:30 p.m. today. Again, that shouldn't be the case in yours, more because I was playing with it. We'll talk more about scheduling posts later, but now that the date's in the past, we can hit publish. It'll publish that page. All right, but really, we want to be in here to deal with a couple other pages. So we'll add another new page. We'll make one called About Me. And on that page, we'll just have a bit of text. I've got sort of copied in here. You can add more text. You can add images. We'll get more into details of how to manipulate pages and posts later. But About Me, perfect. Let's publish that one. So we have an About page. Certainly, I would suggest adding more content than that, but that'll get you an About page. And the same with Contact. People may want to reach out to you and say, contact me. And then you can reach me via email at, you put your email address. Later we'll talk about forms. We can get other things there, but you have a contact page where how people can reach you. Maybe you want to be reached on Facebook Messenger or on Twitter, or maybe your phone number. Most people just have email or a contact form, but however you want to be contacted, put it out here. And again, publish it. We can always save it as a draft and say, you know what, I need to figure out what email address I want to use. Let's save it as a draft. And if we go back to our list of pages, you'll see now that we have the privacy policy, the About Me, but Contact Me is still a draft. It's still just in progress, so no one else can see it yet. We'll get into this a lot with blog posts. But for now, let's go ahead and publish this one too. So now we have this published. Let's go out, and now we want to add to the navigation, because the problem here is it's got everything up in the navigation. We don't necessarily want that, and this varies depending on how your setup is. Sometimes it won't have anything up there. Sometimes it'll automatically put some things up there. In this case, this theme puts them up there automatically. And two of those are okay. But let's tighten things up a little bit. So let's go to Appearance and Menus. You'll see we have Menu 1 already created. If not, you can create a new one. And it has 4 different things. It has Home, Privacy Policy, About Me, and Contact Me. You can put anything you want in the navigation menu. You can put custom links. Like if you want people to go to Google, you could say https google.com, and we could call it Google. And say add to menu. Now there'll be a link in our menu for Google. Not sure why you would do that, but you might want to link to your Facebook page or link to another site of yours, or you can do various things in there. We'll remove that though. And again, we'll remove the privacy policy from here. Having it on the site's good. We don't need it in the top navigation necessarily. So we'll hit Create Menu. And that creates that menu there. And so now we have those items in there. And we also have locations of menus. So we have a menu. Let's try to rename. We'll call it Main Menu. Just so we can keep it straight in case you have multiple menus. And again, based on your theme is where it'll allow you to put menus. So we can look at locations here, manage locations to see where we can put menus. In this case, there's one location, the primary spot. And what menu we want to use there? The main menu. It's already saved for us. We can double check that. So in here, you can edit the menus, drag things back and forth, and up here you can decide where they go. So back in here, again, we have our pages we can pull in. So like you can check Contact Me, add to menu, and that would add it again, which we don't necessarily want. You can also, again, we have the custom links. You can also pull in specific blog posts. You can see all your posts here. If you have a post you want linked at the top, you can always have that in the menu. And same with your categories, your blog post categories. You can have a category at the top. Some people like to have categories with drop downs there. So you could do something like that where we'll just add it to the menu. We don't have enough categories to make it worthwhile, but when you're dragging things around here, it affects the order they show up. But you'll notice I drag to the right, it kind of snaps indented a little bit, and that'll make it a drop down menu. So if I were to save this now and go out to the front of my site, you'll see now we have home, about me, and contact me, but about me has a drop down for uncategorized, which is not ideal, but you can kind of see how that works. So it's easy to create drop down menus with things you want. Again, in the case of a blog, simple is better, and I don't think you probably need to do that, but perhaps some of your categories could be useful up there. But let's go back into menus. Let's just remove that. So again, we'll click the little drop down and remove it. So home, about me, and contact me is probably pretty good. If you wanted, you could even simplify. You can change the label to be different than the name of the page. If you want to simplify and say contact and about, that'll make them simpler in the navigation menu. So now it's going to say home, about, and contact, but the pages are still the same. The page is still about me. So you can decide how you want to handle that. But that'll get you a simple navigation, a few simple pages. Again, you'll probably be tweaking those forever a little bit as you go, but really you'll be generating blog content. We'll be getting to that in just a few more sessions here.